I'm going to show you how to make this box. It has a place in here for some standard size cards as well as envelopes, some 3x3 cards and envelopes, some gift tags, a little pen, a place to put some postage stamps in, and a little notepad. Now to make this box, you need to start with a 12x12 piece of cardstock, and I've gone ahead and stamped it with this little floral stamp in Groovy Guava ink on this Groovy Guava cardstock. The first thing you want to do is score your cardstock 3 inches, and then at 9 inches. And then turn it and score it the other direction at 5 inches and at 7 inches. Now fold it on all the score lines and crease it with your bone folder. Now we want to cut on these 2 scoring lines, all the way up to that score line. And then do the same on the other side. Now you want to take some sticky strip and adhere these 2 pieces down to the center. So put a piece here. And here. And then you want to do the same on the other side. Once you have your sticky strip on, peel off the red liner, and you want to fold this into the middle and really burnish that down so it'll stay in place. Now it's time to score again. And you want to fold in these 2 bottom flaps because we're only going to be scoring these 2 top pieces right here. And if you put it in your score so that this left edge is at 11 inches, go ahead and score right there. And then we can flip it over and do the same to this side. Put the left edge at 11 inches. And score. Rotate your box around so the 2 pieces that we just scored are down at the bottom, and fold those in. And we're going to be cutting these top 2 pieces. So add in your cutting blade. And this time you want to slide your cardstock over so that the left edge is at 10 1/4. And then fold this over and cut. And now you want to flip it over so that we can cut this flap. And this time you want to put it into the cutter and slide it over to 8 1/2 inches. So what we're doing is we're cutting off 1 3/4 inch off of both of these top flaps. Fold it on the score lines and crease that with your bone folder. Now you can set this piece aside. I have another piece of cardstock that's 8 1/2 inches by 4 1/4, and you want to score it at 1 1/4 inch on this side, on one of the long sides, and up the other short side. And now we want to cut out our corners that we just scored, and I'm going to draw this in just so you can see what I'm doing. But here's where the score lines are. And you want to take your scissors and start about 1/8 of an inch up here and go right there to where the score line, where the 2 score lines meet. I'll cut it and do the same thing. come out here about 1/8 of an inch and angle it on over to where the 2 score line meets. And then you want to do the same thing over in this corner. Here's a close-up view of the corner I just cut out so you can see how I angled my lines that I cut. I've added 3 pieces of sticky strip and I folded my cardstock right there on my score lines, and now it's time to adhere it to the box. And we're going to adhere it to this part with the smaller flaps that we cut off. So to start with, work with the long bottom piece. And the way I do it is I line up this edge with this edge right here of the pieces that we fold over and adhere it in the middle. Line that up and then stick down the sticky strip. Now you want to peel off one of the pieces on the sides. And bring that in, and you're going to line up this corner with this edge right here. And stick those pieces together and do the same thing on the other side. Lining up the corner with this edge. And we have our pocket for our note cards. And now it's time to work on our smaller pockets. For our 2 smaller pockets, we have 2 pieces of cardstock. One is 5.5 inches by 2 and 4.5 inches by 2. And you want to score both of those at 1/2 inch and 1 inch from both sides. So flip it over, 1 inch and 1/2 inch. Another way to do this is if you know that this piece is 5.5 inches wide, you can slide it to the right at 5 inches and score it, and then at 4.5 inches and score it. Flip it over again, 4.5 and 5 inches. And you want to fold it on all of those score lines, crease it, and add some red sticky strip. I added my sticky strip on these 2 outside pieces, just right next to the score line. And now we're going to add them to our box. So I'm going to start with my larger one. And you want to fold this in. You want to fold this in, and you're going to line up this edge right here, the sticky strips right here, with this edge right here. Once you got it in place, adhere it down. And same thing on this side. And then the smaller piece goes right next to it. So I'm going to start on the outside edge. And then do the inside edge. And these 2 should line up right next to each other.